So I haven't been filming much this weekend. I don't know why. I just kept forgetting to. Been having a bunch of weird problems. Not weird, I guess, but just every time I start to get going on something, I run into trouble. So, quick update: the new dog decided to name her Karen, which is an internet joke because she was real fussy and annoying. It's my dad's idea. In other news, she chased his calves, so I got rid of her. So Karen's no longer on the farm. My neighbor knew somebody that wanted a dog, and so brought it to her. And she didn't last very long there either. She's passed her along to somebody else. So she was just kind of a terrible dog, to be honest with you. So the only thing I regret is wasting all my time building that doghouse for her. So is what it is. So let me show you what I got going on with the backhoe here. Alright, so it's all washed off. We had some rain, but after I rebuilt these power steering cylinders, I was running it, just refilling the cylinders. You guys have seen that last week. And then over here, all the diesel running down the side of the tractor out of the fuel pump, which is right in there. So that thing back there, there's throttle linkage there. Anyway, my fuel pump needs rebuilt. Now, I wasn't sure if that's why it died, and what happens is it was running and it just sputtered out and died. So as I was kind of troubleshooting, trying to figure out what was going on, came over here, looked, of course, diesel running out everywhere. So I think I found a pump that I can replace that with and not actually have to rebuild it myself for relatively cheap. So I'll let you guys know what I find on that. But like I said, I wasn't sure if that's why it died or if that was just something else that was going on. So I went to run some wires over here so that I could just short them together to crank it while I cracked these injector lines open to see if it was making any pressure. And while I was going to do that, now I've always started this tractor by just arcing the solenoid, right? But it's not over here anymore. I decided while I was here I might as well go ahead and wire up the push button start, get that put back together so that it works correctly. So I got the wire all ran and stuff and tested it, and it was working. So then I went to pull the nut off to attach the wire to the solenoid, and the plastic front cap of the solenoid broke off. So now I gotta wait on a starter solenoid. Figures. So anyway, in the meanwhile, I've been working on installing these little LED lights on the back here, and these you can kind of move them around and stuff, so they're pretty cool. This one I haven't got the wire pulled through yet because it's got this old wire in here and it's really stiff, so I was hoping I could just pull the new wire through with the old wire, but I'm having trouble. It's where I have to pull on, it's way up in there, and it's hard to get to. I just haven't got that one done yet. This one I did though, so you can see the wire sticking out. It's not connected yet. Goes through, and this one's a little bit easier to get to because I can remove that floor panel. So then here's my wire down here, and then what I'll do is I'll just tie this wire together with that one, and then I'll run it up into here, and I'm going to reuse these switches that were already on it. These were light switches, some nice beefy switches, and I'll use those instead of the cheap little Chinese setup that this comes with. It's got a somewhere, where is it? Anyway, it comes with a little rocker switch, but it's cheap and it feels like a piece of junk, so I'm not going to use it. We'll reuse these old ones. They seem to work. Put the meter on them and test, and they make continuity, so that's what I need. And then I think I've decided what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove all of this old wiring harness and basically rebuild the whole thing. And then what I'll do is I'll put terminal blocks in here, with one of them be positive, one of them be negative, and we'll run those, probably run the hot through the key over there, but then run those straight to the battery. And then I might see if I can get these all these gauges working, and then I'll just have terminal blocks that I can terminate to. That way I know I've got good connections. We'll be able to clean all this up and make it look real nice. So that's my plan on that. Hopefully we can get my gauges working. Some of them, like this one's going to have to be replaced. That one will probably have to be replaced. These two may just need to be hooked back up, or the sensors that they go to may not be working. So I don't know. I haven't got that far on troubleshooting that. But anyhow, that's what we got going on with the backhoe here. It's dead in the water, won't start, and solenoid's broke. Starter solenoid's broke. So, you know, basket case. That's the way it goes. All right. So if you remember, another problem I was having is this cylinder's completely blown out. It just dumps hydraulic oil out of it if you use it at all. You know, out of the seals here. Now, I thought about rebuilding it, but I mean, and I could take it apart and figure out, you know, the part numbers and reseal it. But I mean, if you look at it, this is all tore up. The shaft's all pitted. These are completely wore out. You know, it's not supposed to be like that. Shaft's got dents and stuff in it. This one over here is even worse. Completely wore out, and you can see somebody's welded this back together. It wore completely through at some point, and it's kind of bent. So I decided that they're not that expensive. I'm just going to replace it. So I've got one ordered. I'd already ordered one, and it got here and I realized I screwed up and ordered the wrong one, so I'm gonna have to send it back. But that's a little bit irritating. But I could probably I could modify it. I could make something work, but the ports are different sizes. I'll have to have adapters, and this is the wrong size. And then I bought these thinking maybe I could just use them, and they're the correct size for my Cat 1 parts here, but the they're not the right size for this, so that wasn't even right. Anyway, it's just a pain. So just decided I'd just send the wrong one back that I'd bought, and I've already got the new one ordered, so I'll call them tomorrow and get a return set up for the other one. So that's frustrating. That's my mistake. It's not their fault. They sent me the part I ordered. I just ordered the wrong part. So anyway, all right. Now, one good thing that happened this weekend, I got one of my four-wheelers back. So it is running. Running really good right now. So very happy about that. And this had these old lights on it right here. They were mounted just on these, hanging underneath here. It's been a long time now, but I bought this light bar to put on this four-wheeler, just like that. And so once I got it back and it's running now, I went ahead and put it on there. And then what I did is up here, so I tied the light bar into this wire here, which is the high beam, off of my high beam switch here, right? So I can switch between the other headlights that are the stock ones. Nope, it's not on. So there's the stock headlights, and I'll show you guys this after dark here in a little bit. And then I can turn that LED light bar on. Pretty cool. So switch between them like that. So pretty neat. It works really good. Pretty excited about that. So I got one four-wheeler back, so that's good. We're kind of back in business. Glad to have that, and I got sweet lights on it now. So things are looking up in that regard. Still waiting on the other one to come back. They do have a diagnosis on it. Apparently, they said there was a bunch of water in the fuel tank. So I don't know how that happened, but I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me, because I run enough fuel through that thing. You know, I run it all the time. It's not like it sat for ever and could have got fuel in it, but or could have got water in the fuel tank. And then the same thing with the gas can. I mean, I go through it all the time, so I don't know how it got water in it, but apparently it had really bad fuel in it, and that's what's causing the problem. Which you know, that makes sense. That's the way it was running. So I don't know. Anyway, we'll get that one back, and then I'll have two four-wheelers for the first time since I got them. So this one's a little bit bigger, and it's four-wheel drive, so I'm actually glad to have this one back. This is the one that I really wanted out of the two, and I was planning on just selling that Suzuki, but this one died on me right away. They did say on these, just for the record, that the carburetors on these, the Honda ones, cost like $300 or $400, and they're really, really good. The one that's on this one is, he said, a cheap Chinese knockoff. Apparently they cost about $30, and he said they just always have problems. He sees problems with them all the time. So that's why I was having carb problems, is because it's a cheap Chinese carburetor. So I knew that's what was wrong with it, but I had messed with it a little bit and then couldn't get it to work. And then also, by the way, it turns out it was these lights is what this had a drain on the battery, and it was these lights. You can see the wires are all falling apart. The guy that I bought it from had just wrapped everything in electrical tape, so I couldn't even see that, but that light was just a direct short to ground, and he had wired them straight to the battery. He didn't go through a switch or anything, well, except for this toggle switch right here, which now does nothing, but they were wired straight back to the battery, and so that's why I had an electrical drain. It was those lights that the guy before me had put on, aftermarket ones. So this will be better because as you can see, lights come on, but whenever I turn the key off, since they're wired through the factory lighting switches, then it turns everything off. So there's no way, as long as I turn it off, when I'm done using it, there's no way I can leave those on and forget about it or something. So, and then have a dead battery. So anyway, pretty cool deal. Like I said, happy to have this back. What do you find, dog? Oh, pig ear. Yummy. So, alright, well, it's cold and windy and it's been raining on us. So, I think I'm going to go, I need to go check their mineral. And, yeah, maybe I'll show you guys that. Hey, look at that sunset today. That's amazing. Every once in a while, we get good ones like this. We've had these storms kind of rolling through. It's got a little break over there though where the sun's peeking through. Man, that's cool. Love it. It's one of the best parts about living out here in the country. See stuff like this all the time. Not gonna see that in the city. Wow. Man, look at that moon. It's all blurry for you guys. Crazy clear though for me. It's too bad you can't see it very well. Looks like just like a big street light or something, or the sun maybe, but that's the moon. It's pretty cool. Nice sunset this evening as well. Not a lot of clouds to make it real pretty, but still pretty neat. It's kind of cool, you know, it's that color is the color of the moon. So that's, you know, the light that's reflecting off of it. Beautiful. Wish I could get you guys a clearer picture of that. Need to invest in a telescope. Maybe I could get a better shot of it for you guys next time. So cool. Alright, so new lights on the four-wheeler here. So first of all, this is the old lights. So not bad. I'm gonna switch to high beams. Way better. Pretty cool, huh? So stock lights. Woke dog up, she's freaking out now. LED new light bar. Sweet. Hear that? Water line's frozen. This is a real fancy heated water line, but it doesn't work if you don't plug it in. And I forgot to plug it in. I didn't know it was going to get this cold tonight, so got it plugged in now. Yeah, that sucks. I was about to go take a shower and didn't have any water pressure, so water line's froze. Bummer. So if you remember a while back, this water line had broke, and I didn't think about it until after my cousin was out here, and we had already reburied the line and re-ran everything, and then I realized that cord is too short that's on the hose, so I have to have an extension cord, and I didn't realize until we had already reburied it. There's a water line running right through here. I could have moved that to like right here next to the pole, where I could have plugged it in without the extension cord. But yeah, too late for that now. So yeah, oops. Just back out here checking on everything. So gave it about 30 minutes with the electric hose turned back on, and then I had just a little bit of flow, so I let it go. Just flowed out a couple gallons. It took about 30 minutes. It wasn't much, but it finally started flowing again. So I've got my shower now, so I'm good. I'm clean again. I had a bunch of paint on me, so I was glad to take a shower. Yeah, it's cold out tonight. See that? It's dog's water. It's only about 30 degrees, but it is chilly. See, everything's frosting over. Yeah, so about 30 minutes to flush water through that hose. About 30 minutes before that, just to let the hose turn back on and start warming everything up. So I had kind of a funny problem. I was running it through the kitchen sink, and it was flowing good. It finally started flowing good, so I was like, sweet, I can go take my shower. And I went and turned the water on. I had cold water, but I didn't have hot water. And then I went and checked the kitchen sink. I didn't have kitchen sink anymore. I checked the vanity sink. I didn't have the water at the vanity sink. Didn't have water at the commode. I only had cold water at the shower. So a piece of ice must have blocked something up inside of there. And so I just let it run for a little bit. It finally cleared, and now everything's working again. We're all unfroze. So that's all it took. Now this hose blew out on me. This is a new one, obviously, but this blew out on me. I don't know, a few weeks ago, and my gray water, I'll go ahead and let that drain straight into the tank. So one thing I wanted to do is come over here and make sure, yeah, it's all good. Make sure that was completely drained into the tank so that it doesn't freeze in there and break my new sewer line. It seems to be good. I let that drain because the tank actually has a crack in it. I've tried to fix it a couple times, and to no avail. So I just let that one go. And the black water I accumulate, hopefully it doesn't break. If it gets a crack in it, we'll have to get more serious about fixing them. But yeah, so I do throw some treatment in there to help with that in the winter. I need to put some in today, actually. Right now I need to go do that. So yeah, camper life, always an adventure. Alright, back out here looking at this pond. This thing's just more and more ridiculous. Sun, man. Sorry about that, sun. Pretty wild. So I'm not quite sure what they've got going on over here. It's kind of interesting. But kind of see the way they've sloped that. That's on a grade right there, but then it drops off. Man, this thing's, it's ridiculous. I mean, that's probably 100 yards to where that pump is over there. So, pretty crazy. We had a bunch of rain, so it's got some water in it. And they've got their ramp here that they've been driving into with those trucks. So I didn't see them pull any more dirt out of it today, so they may actually be done this time. I think I've said that before, and then they made it like twice as big, but I think they might actually be done this time. So the only bad part about a pond this size is I'm planning on fencing it. I'm going to have to buy a lot more T-post and barbed wire than I'd planned on initially. Very cool.